From Plymouth State University, PM Weather with student meteorologist Norman Shippey.
Good evening, Plymouth, and welcome to another edition of PM Weather. I'm student meteorologist Norman Shippey. We started out kind of cool this morning, but we warmed up nicely this afternoon, getting up almost to the 70-degree mark. We see our high today was 67 degrees. That compared to our normal high, we were about 10 degrees warmer than normal. And we hit 31 degrees last night for a low, and that's right at our normal low of 31 degrees. We didn't record any precipitation, but we did have our first frost of the year. We had to probably scrape some frost right off the car. We see our sun rose this morning at 7:03 a.m. and set this evening at 6 p.m. and our moon is at 29% and waxing. Looking around Plymouth right now, we do see 64 degrees outside, our dew point of 39 degrees, our relative humidity at 40%, and our winds are calm. Our sea level pressure is at 29.98 inches and it's falling quickly as a high pressure starts to move away from us. Looking around the region though, we do see Mount Washington sitting at 39 degrees, Concord at 68, Worcester down at 68, and Providence at 70. Moving out towards New York, we see 60s, but as we move right on the east coast here, we see Boston only at 60 degrees, Portland only at 56 degrees, and that's because they actually got some wind off the water today and experienced a little bit of a sea breeze. Around the U.S. for surface temperatures right now, we see our temperatures in the 50s and 60s, 70s as you get down towards Virginia, and 80s down into Florida. Some 80s down in Texas where they've got some severe weather going on, and some 40s up in the higher elevations in the northern part of the U.S. Our surface analysis right now, we do see this low pressure system sitting right across the midsection of the U.S., spawning some severe weather in the Texas, Louisiana region right down here. They have some severe thunderstorm warnings and watches and tornado warnings even down there. But over us right now, we do have a high pressure system, and this is starting to move out, and we're going to notice that as we go through tonight, we're going to see some increasing clouds. And as we move ahead about 48 hours, we're going to see this low pressure system start to swing in towards us, bringing us some wet weather for this weekend. Satellite radar composite right now, we see some thunderstorms and clouds and showers. These little boxes here are those severe thunderstorm warnings and tornado warnings that we see. And we also see some clouds out on the western part of the U.S. This is associated with a low pressure system that's coming on shore and starting to die out as it hits the higher terrain on the west. But over us, we don't have any precipitation, and the clouds that were over us started to thin out, and we're actually kind of clear outside right now. So tonight's low temperatures, we see 40 degrees over us in the lower 40s, 50s as you get down towards New York and Pennsylvania, 60s down in the Carolinas, and 70s down towards Florida. But if you look out west, we see a large area of 30s extending all the way down into New Mexico, with some 20s in the higher elevations. Tomorrow's highs, we're going to see some 60s here, upper 60s to 70s. We may even hit the 70-degree mark tomorrow. 70s in southern New England down towards Virginia, and 80s down towards Florida. Don't look now, but you might see some 90s right along Texas, but as you go back, you see some 50s only up in Montana and North Dakota, South Dakota area. And this is where those 30s were last night, and that's where the 50s are going to be. You can kind of tell where that cold front is. As you can see, there's a lot cooler air back on this side, but the warmer air is still right here. Now, we do see tomorrow night 50 degrees in the middle of our country and 50 degrees over us. That's because we'll be under some clouds and we're going to have to worry about some rain. So our temperatures are going to stay somewhat warm. Looking up in northern Maine, you're only going to be in the 40s though. They're not going to have to worry about the rain quite so much yet. As the day goes on, they'll have to worry about it. 60s as you get down towards Carolina, and 70s down in Florida. But remember those 30s were down in northern New Mexico? Now they're down into northern Texas, and that's quite far down for 30-degree temperatures to be reaching at this time of year. So tonight's precipitation, we see this area of thunderstorms moving across, and lots of rain associated with this low pressure system. As it starts to move into tomorrow, we see the same system and some precipitation over us, some showery precipitation tomorrow. And then as we move to tomorrow night, we see the same sort of thing over us. We start to see some precipitation and some thunderstorms along the eastern seaboard. So your PSU forecast for tonight, we're going to see mostly cloudy skies and a chance of showers, only about a 20% chance. And our low will be about 44 degrees. Our winds will be light and variable. As we move to tomorrow, we see mostly cloudy skies, a 20% chance of a shower, high of 67, and our low of 52. And our wind will be from the west at about 5 miles per hour. And your PSU extended forecast. Friday, we're going to see some showers and thunderstorms throughout the day, sometimes heavy, 69 for a high and 58 for a low. Saturday, showers early and rainy early, and then we'll start to clear out as the night goes on, 62 degrees for a high, 43 for a low. And Sunday, back to the normal around here, mostly sunny and nice, 64 degrees and 40 for a low. Thanks for tuning into PM Weather. Feel free to check us out on the web at vortex.plymouth.edu.